Alright guys, Jason Graystone here, professional currency trader and trading coach over at Tier 1 Trading. We have got a great video to show you here because you know, if you've been any part of Tier 1 or you've watched any other videos, you know that transparency is the key foundation of which we've built Tier 1 Trading. So what we want to do is we want to bring people in, make sure that they're not fantasizing over someone else's priorities, make sure they know that they want it, why they want it, and then we give them the realistic expectations with complete transparency. And then if they're in, we take them and guide them to that level of success that they're looking for. So we had a trader come in the live room today. Camille, he's a new guy, he's taking the trial, he's in the room and he's engaging, he's asking questions. And he starts mentioning that he's taking a trade, and I'm in a similar trade, and he's sort of unsure. He's asking my opinion on the trade, right? So he's in the trade already, but he doesn't know why he's taking the trade. He doesn't really know where he's getting in and getting out, and he doesn't really have regimented rules in place as to how he's going to manage the trade. So I took it as an opportunity to really drill down. We brought out the accountability. I started engaging with him, asking him questions. We made him break out his whole trade plan for how he got into the trade, where his targets are, where his stops are going. And then we started really filtering out that ambiguity and that subjectivity within his trade. And it turns out, you know, he probably shouldn't be trading at the moment. And there's one point where I actually tell him to stop trading, because if you're in a position where you haven't got a system that you trust, it's going to ruin your life. And I'll go through this in detail in the video, but there's many ways it can ruin your life. If you haven't watched the video on the guy who was fixated with the Bitcoin trade, the crypto trade, go and check that out. But the point is, the guy was fixated, right? So he couldn't take his mind off his trading platform. It consumed his day. Every 10 minutes he was checking the trade, and that can have a profound impact on your life for the worse, because you lose focus. Now you can lose focus on your job, you can lose focus on your personal development, right? You start letting yourself go downhill. You can lose your job because of it. You can lose focus on your relationship, so your wife or your husband or your spouse or your partner, or you can lose focus with your kids, you know, because your focus, your mind is elsewhere. So not only is it ruining your finances, it's ruining your relationships, your job, you know, your health, your fitness. If you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to work out, you don't want to keep fit, if you have to keep managing a trade that you don't know the story that you're in, you don't know how it's likely to unfold, therefore you're emotionally attached to the trade. So I think you'll really get some benefit from watching this video. So check it out, and I'll see you in a minute. So first thing on the radar is the cipher pattern. Now, this is the pound yen, X to A to B, B to C, CD completion. This is a cipher pattern completion if you trade cipher patterns. There's a few patterns setting up actually. Targets for this would be conventional. It won't be it will probably be just under a 1-to-1 risk reward. I'm going at 85. So there you have it. Order pending. I'm also in a counter move on the New Zealand dollar. We dropped out to the 4-hour. We were looking at this level last week. This is one of the levels that I pay attention to in this market, this lower level down here. And we tested that level. RSI went massively oversold. We then went oversold again, dropped down to the 60, and we had this nice double bottom here. Okay, double bottom. So it's a 1 in, 1 out. ATR stop. Targets just below that previous structure support level become resistance, and then I'm in. So few things on the radar. It's quite a busy day already so far. So it's the live room, London live room. You come in, you watch what the real trading it looks like, the application side of trading. If you think about being an apprentice, right, you do some theory, you do some I call it sort of bench testing, which is all perfect situation. Okay, is anyone an engineer or anyone done any sort of bench testing or work class testing that's not in a real live environment? You go in, everything's laid out perfectly, everything's going to work, there's rarely any problems or faults. And when you go and do an apprenticeship, you do some theory work, which is written, and mental work, and then you go and do the practicing in the perfect situation. So I would call that back testing, forward testing, okay? And then you go out into the real world and you get the site experience, the placement experience, the workforce experience, and that's when it really comes to life. And that's what this is. This is just the workforce experience. If you're brand new to trading, just think of it like you're an apprentice, you're coming in and you're just going out for the day to work with the traders that sort of have been through all the practical, been through all the theory, and they've been they've got some battle scars from the site. So this is what it's about. Okay, it's not a signal service. It's not somewhere where you go, right, Jason's taking that trade now, I'm going to get in. That's not what it's about. All right, if you think that's what it's about, you've missed the point. The point is we've given you all the tools that you need to be good at trading. We've structured a course in a way that teaches you how to develop a trading system. Every strategy we teach, we give you ideas on how you may make it your own to suit your personality. We literally just give you the tools to teach you how to fish, okay? Instead of just giving you a strategy and letting you off the leash. We actually create the mindset, the mentality, the skill set, and give you all of that stuff. We've got the pound dollar, we've got the pound yen, we've got the New Zealand dollar, and we've got orders on for the euro dollar. So quite a few things on already. Hey Jason, I went New Zealand long, 6,700. What do you reckon? Price getting rejected on the 30-minute time frame. Camille, what was your reason for getting long? First of all, you're trading a live account? Yeah? Why did you get long? First question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So you don't know. You don't know why you got long. Divergence, pin bar on the 30-minute. Okay. Engulfing. You're saying words now. Okay, let's drill down. I'm gonna go through Camille's trade plan. Alright? So Camille just said, Jason, I got long on the New Zealand dollar, what do you reckon? Okay. So first of all, I've got alarm bells because my opinion does not make the slightest bit of difference in your trading decisions. Secondly, I asked Camille why he got involved, and he says divergence, right? So 30-minute time frame. You're looking at this divergence, so you just need any divergence, Camille. Any bullish divergence, as long as it's bullish. You look for this double bottom or retest. I'm helping you, by the way. This is not like you're not targeted or anything. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's right. Okay, and then you just said engulfing. What does that mean? What does engulfing mean? Is there an engulfing candle in here that you was looking at? I can't see one. I think you said the 30-minute time frame. 4-hour chart. Wow. Okay, so you drop out to the 4-hour. You see an engulfing candle. Okay. Yep. And how do you enter? Where do you enter and why? So you look at the 4-hour, you got the engulfing candle, you drop down to the 30-minute time frame where you see a retest and some bullish divergence. Sounds good so far. how do you enter? Like, what's the rules? You just took it, just took a punt, waited for price to retrace. I dropped down to 30-minute. Retrace to where? To give you a 1-to-1 or to a certain level? Or see, you need to be careful with these subjective terms, right? Engulfing, that's subjective. Divergence, that's subjective. Retrace, that's subjective. I went for the pin bar, was my entry. Excellent. Okay, so this entry right here was your entry. What, next bar market on the close of this candle? On the close of this candle was your entry, right? So you entered exactly the same as me, 6,700. Excellent. Right, so now you've got a plan. Now you've got a plan. Where is your targets? Where is your stop loss? Everyone who's new's come in, they're thinking, oh my God. What have I done? I don't want to share any of my ideas. Stop loss is under that pin bar, plus 5 pips. Good. This is good. This is a learning experience, right? This is accountability. So 5 pips under the pin bar, which is going to put you down at 66.86. Sorry. Right. So your stop loss is here. You're entered here. Where's your target? Closed half for 1 for 1. Half for 1 for 1. You closed half. So you've already closed half your position size. So you're like, I don't know, I'm imagining you're something like this. Did you close because your rules say you close there, or did you know that you were going to close it out there before you place the trade? Did you know before you placed the trade where you was going to close out half your position? Again, guys, this is all for the good. This is all good intentions. It's good when we get the opportunities to drill like this, because it really sort of slaps people in the face, and it irons out any ambiguity or you know, subjectivity in their trades. I'm still fighting the trend, so don't want to hold forever. Sure, so right, you're taking a counter trend move, so you're 1 in, 1 out, just like me. Right? I don't get greedy on counter moves. But what's the rules for taking targets? Like, you've just asked me what I think. Like, what do I reckon? Well, I'm in the trade, and I know based on my testing that whenever I get this situation, my stop loss goes an ATR below the low. I enter next bar market. I'm getting a very decent, just under a 2-to-1 risk reward on this trade. But I'm taking my targets 2 pips below the previous structure low. So the previous structure support level becomes resistance. 2 pips under that, I'm getting my targets in. Does that sound subjective to you? So I don't know what the market's going to do. The market might roll over. The market just might roll over here and stop me out. Will this be a good trade or a bad trade if I get stopped out? Good, 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 good. Yep. It's still a good trade because it met the rules. I maintained consistency. Listen, if you break consistency, you're going to lose over time. It's impossible not to lose if you break consistency. If you want an example of that, look at a casino. Right? People go in and they have a bit of fun on the one-arm bandit, and then they'll have a bit of fun on another fruit machine, and then they'll have a bit of fun on the roulette table, and a bit of fun on the blackjack table, and then a bit of fun, you know, on the little arm that moves, the little games that you can play, the gimmicky ones, and then they have a bit of fun on something else. Right? Do you think there's any consistency involved in any of their activities? No. So who wins the money at the end of the night? The casino. Right? Swap the word casino with the currency market, right? Or the smart money. Let's say that we have a plan, kind of, and we get short at this level, right? We've tested all this. We know we're profitable over time if we stick to these rules. Let's just say tomorrow we have a bit of a gut feeling and we say, oh, do you know what? I don't really like this. I think I'm just going to take my profits here today. And then we have another setup and we say, oh, this one looks, I feel a bit good today because I won a lot yesterday. So I'm going to take my profits up here today. Right? What do you think's going to happen? Who's going to win the money at the end of the day? Who's going to take your money? The smart money. Consistency is absolutely everything. You start breaking those rules, you start breaking your bank account. Simple as that. So, what I reckon about New Zealand dollar is I have about a 66% chance that this is going to rally and hit my target based on this particular setup. And if I am right, because I'm right 66% of the time on this particular setup, if I am right, I'm going to win just under double what I'll lose when I'm wrong. So you can use the market behavior as discretion. What you don't want to do is just keep changing your system. You don't want to keep changing your system and chopping and changing. The reason I review my trading system quarterly and I don't change anything until like a 6-month period is because I don't want to just change it like quickly. That is my problem. I swapped too often. Alright, so it looks like the New Zealand dollar trade is pushing up. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 pips to go before we hit targets on this. So tell me, is Camille in the room still? Yeah, Camille's in the room. So Camille, is this like hurting your discipline? Is this hurting you? Like, would you have the psychological strength to sit through this like I have? Or would you be taking targets now? Would you be saying, that's close enough? Be honest. I'm grinding my teeth. Wow. Shall I tell you what? If you're grinding your teeth, you're not ready to be trading live. And my advice to you would be to stop trading live. Until you've got a back-tested plan. Maybe do some demo trading. Because ultimately, what you're going to do is lose over time. And I know you don't want to believe me. And I know that that's going to hurt. But I have seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. Yeah, absolutely demo trading. Because if you're approaching your trading where you're like, oh my god, I don't know what's going to happen, and you're just watching the trades constantly, like the guy that was in McDonald's. Anyone see the Bitcoin thing that I put out? Crypto Mike, Crypto Jason, Crypto King. He was fixated. The reason I filmed that video, the reason it caught my eye in the first place, and thank God it did because we used it for the better to sort of push out a message and warning. But the reason that I was attracted to that guy is because he was fixated with his phone. I thought, what the hell is he looking at? Like, he's not watching a film. He's got his head in his hands. He looks like he's about to cry. That trade that he was in absolutely consumed his day. You heard him. He said, I've been watching this trade all day, he said. All day, every 10 minutes. He's been checking his phone. How do you think that allows him to concentrate on his job? Do you think he's better at his job or he's worse at his job while he's got that going on? Right, here's the thing. Do you think he's a better partner or a worse partner with that going on? Do you think he's a better parent or a worse parent while that's going on? The fact is, if you don't have this right, it's going to ruin your life. Ruin your life in every way. Vocationally. Relationships. Right? Money. It's just literally going to ruin your life. It's very, very unhealthy. The guy was like, the guy was in debt up to his eyeballs. you need to have, if you've back tested a plan, I know I'm about 67% right on this, 66% right on this particular setup. This could, we're 1 pip away now. This could still reverse. And I don't get a profit. All right. Now we've come within 2 pips of my order. So now I can roll my stops to break even. Okay. And I'm going to go just above break even. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to earn this profit. Doesn't mean I'm going to earn this profit. This could quite easily, at this pip, roll over and take me out for no profit. And I'm happy with that. Happy with that. So I think it was good to sort of bring Camille in, go through his trade, sort of drill him a bit, and then get the transparency and the belief transference of what it actually takes to generate money over time. Okay, because there's going to be lots of traders in here, not just Camille. There's other people battling with this type of thing. There's other people really sort of, they've got voices in their heads. And they're like, no, I've got to take profits early. But listen to this. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if you let this happen, you're going to continue to let it happen. You have to be disciplined. Have to be disciplined. You'll end up being one of those people that starts stuff, never finishes it. It is a great quote. It's one of my favorites. And I still tell myself that quote when I'm out running. Like I did 5K last night. Do you think I wanted to be running 5K? Like when it's roasting hot outside, I did a late run because I had lots of stuff to do in the day. It's not really the top of my priority list, right? I'm not superhuman. I don't want to go running at that time. And then as I push myself to go out and run, I get about, the first 300 yards where I'm really knackered. Right, when you start, your breathing pattern starts. There's that imbalance in your breathing pattern. And you're like, oh God, I just want to go home, right? And then that's the point when you say, if I just go back now, like I've let myself down, and how I do anything is how you do everything. And I tell myself that because if I let myself down there and go back and give up and don't do it, chances are I'm going to do that in some other endeavor. Maybe I'm going to, have a poor diet. Maybe I'm going to not stick to, my time with my kids that I spend with my kids. I do a legacy session every Wednesday night with my kids where I teach them about money and how the money works and how business works. If I stop doing that, right, I could easily quite say, I'm not going to do that. Right. So there we have it, right? Just hit targets.
Order cancelled.
And that, my friends, is how you have the discipline to stick with a plan. And now we're on to the next trade. So this one happened to win. It was a good trade nonetheless. But I've now won much more than I would have lost if I was wrong. Which means that I'm almost 2 ahead. So not only is it a 66, 67% win rate, it's almost a 2-to-1 as well. So I've now got to lose another 2 of these to break even. And I'll be back at break even. Alright, so we're going to get through the pound dollar now. Any questions, anyone looking at this pair? This is similarly to what I put out, similar to what I put out on the trading edge yesterday. Again, discretion. This is more of a descending wedge pattern. Okay, we just so happen to be approaching that 1.3 flat level. Okay, 1.3 flat. So we've got a psychological number. Let's build out the discretion here, right? So we've got a psychological number, 1.3 flat. We're pushing down to previous structure as well. We've got 1, 2. Let's go back, look, 1, 2, right, some structure in here as well. And we can go back and back and back and back, and you're going to find that this is a well-respected level in this market. Okay, so as we approach this level, you can see that the market's running out of steam here as we put in this descending wedge. What typically happens here is we see a break out. We see this a little rally, a pop up to the previous structure high, being the start of this descending triangle, descending wedge. So, decent level for longs, yeah, as Gabriel just said. All right, so hopefully you got from that some, real insights into the level of objectivity that you need in a trade plan. Otherwise, you end up giving your money back to the market. Making money is easy. Holding on to it is another story, and that's where you really, really need to be consistent. So, as I said in the video, what we do at Tier 1, we don't just give you a strategy and let you run off into the hills. Because trading, successful trading, is about developing a system that fits your personality, because we're all different. So the way that we teach and coach in Tier 1 inside the platform, with the whole accountability group, the Q&A and all the rest of it, and all of the courses, is to develop. We teach you how to develop a system that suits your personality, because then you've got the highest possibility for success. So I highly recommend you don't just jump in. Go and take the trial, right? Take the trial, get around the traders in there. There's lots of professional traders in there. There's developers, coders, entrepreneurs, business owners. Get around those people. Get into the live rooms. Immerse yourself in those live rooms. You can have 2 weeks for 3 hours in my room, 3 hours in Akil's room per day. That's 3 days a week, so Tuesday to Thursday. And then you get all of the Trading Edge videos, which is basically our watch list. We shoot in every day. We take turns to shoot in what's on our watch list every day. And again, we go through the analysis. And if you put in that repetition, at the end of those 2 weeks, you're going to be in 2 positions. One, you're going to say, do you know what? This isn't for me. I don't really enjoy this. I've been fantasizing over someone else's priority. They want this. I don't want this. And you'll go away. You've lost no money. On the other hand, you'll think, I can absolutely do this. This is definitely for me. I'm going all in. And then you've got everything you need to get out the other side successful. So check out the trial. It's $1. That's about 60p if you're in the UK for 2 weeks. Absolutely insane. Share this video with everyone that needs to hear it. Someone that thinks trading's get rich quick. Someone that thinks that trading is more glamorous than it is. Now, don't get me wrong. The lifestyle that it provides is very inspirational. I've been trading a long time, and my wife's always known what my business. But it wasn't until this year when we went to the Maldives and we were sitting at the bar in the middle of the Indian Ocean on this tiny little island, and I had a couple of trades on, and she could really appreciate that we wasn't attached or fixed geographically to any location, and we could actually earn money from the markets wherever we were in the world, doing whatever the hell we wanted to do. And it truly is liberating, but most people don't think about the income replacement and the freedom. They think more about the shiny objects. If you think more about the freedom and the opportunity that can come from having that free time to get more creative, you're going to have a much more neutralized and grounded approach towards trading. And that's exactly what we give you at Tier 1. Because once you get successful at trading, literally there's no limits to the return on investment. So get inside the platform. I look forward to seeing you in there. It's $1 for 2 weeks. Get in there now. All right, I'm always getting asked, how I do what I do. How do you trade Forex successfully? What do I need? Are there books I need to start with? Is it easy? Do I need a certain amount of time per day, a certain amount of money? And I've decided to just put together a little video series that's going to teach you everything that I have implemented into my own life, how I trade, how I've managed to be successful at it, and everything you need to know in order to go from zero to successful trader as efficiently as possible. And then you have the information to go and do what you like with it. So I've put together a little video series and we're literally going to take you through everything. So we're going to start with the figures, the money, because lots of people think, oh yeah, I know, but I need loads of money to start, or it's going to take me ages to sort of be financially free through trading, and it's not true. So I'm going to give you the numbers so that you can actually work out how long it's going to take you to transition, and give you the figures that you can actually go and calculate your own situation, and you're really going to see an insight into how you go through that transition period. And then I'm going to talk you through all of the mindsets, the personality traits that you have to adopt. There's little tweaks that I had to adjust here and there. And then I'm going to show you all of the tools that I use in my own trading. So I'm going to take you through the whole process, everything I've learned, all of the key ingredients into successful trading, and then you'll have everything you need to know. So all you need to do to access video 1 is just put your name and email address in below, and we'll start off by giving you the numbers. See you there.